Do you have a junk drawer or a closet that's absolutely full? A place where things migrate to with good intentions, but end up staying there for months? Welcome to my whole home declutter series. Today, we will be tackling the dark corners of the house that we normally don't notice. The closets, cupboards, and drawers. I like a simple space, free of visual clutter. I have to admit though, I usually achieve this by shoveling items out of sight. I've come to the point where the cycle needs to end. Mindsets need to change, and the ignored areas need to be focused on. Where do I start? I use the same approach as I did in my clearing visual clutter episode. I move through my home systematically, focusing on one space at a time. If an item isn't a clear yes, then it's a clear no. I have a place for everything, and everything is in its place. And I always do a second sweep of the space once I'm more comfortable with less in it. Dealing with declutter guilt. In the past, I had a really hard time throwing things out. Of course, if an item can be sold or donated, it should be. But over the years, I've realized that holding on to an item just because you don't want to throw it in the garbage is counterproductive. One thing we have to remember is that the environmental impact was created when I purchased that item. And if I'm consistently throwing things away, the change needs to happen at the beginning by being more intentional with my purchases. If an item is beyond repair, has no functional value, and can't be sold or donated, then it's time to get rid of it. Whether it's in your house or in the trash, garbage is garbage. I like to pull everything out, see what I have as a whole, and replace only the items that are needed. This approach suits me because I like to have a general inventory or sense of where everything is. It's all too easy to get swept away by our wants and convenience items. We live in a world that makes it all too easy to consume. But at what cost? Is the mental stress from never knowing where an object is, or spending hours cleaning and picking up things worth it? Or the financial stress that you might feel at the end of every month when you get your credit card bill? Did I really buy all of those things? How did I spend so much money this month? I am just as guilty as the next person of falling into these traps. However, I am trying to take small steps towards living more intentionally. One thing that has really helped me is creating a budget and reviewing my spending every week. A lot can happen in a month, so by taking a few minutes to write down my purchases once a week, this can make a significant difference. I like to write them down in a bullet journal, or more recently I've been using a budgeting template on Notion, but you can use whatever system feels right for you. I have noticed that the things that are usually declutter are relatively cheap impulse purchases. To curb this behavior, I chose to remove my credit card from my Apple Wallet and start paying with cash. I keep my wallet in the glove box of my car so that it's still accessible in the case of an emergency. But if I'm in a store and want to buy something outside of my intended purchases, I have to put everything down and walk back to my car. This inconvenience is often enough to prevent me from buying those extra items. I don't even really bake that much. I don't know how I've accumulated this much baking supplies. I feel like baking is one of those things that you need to have different sized pans all the time. So Hopefully I can go through this and eliminate some things that I don't think I need, or at least just organize it into something that is a little bit cleaner than this. Pantry spaces are one of those areas that always gets overcluttered. In the past, I would jump from one diet to another, collecting very specific ingredients along the way. Now, I just want to cook simple, healthy, whole foods for my family. I want to use recipes that have less than 10 ingredients, or make components of meals that can be easily mixed and matched to create other meals. I want to use simple ingredients and refrain from buying very recipe-specific items. So these are the teas that I'm gonna keep. It's still a ton of tea, but I really like tea, so and then these are the teas that I'm gonna be getting rid of. I also like to have an inventory or general knowing of what's in my pantry, so that when I'm meal prepping, I can incorporate ingredients that I already have, along with fresh produce, to create my meals. I sit down once a week and plan everything out. I go through my fridge and pantry and make a list of the things that I need. For our family, having prepared meals limits the impulse to buy convenience foods and reduces our food waste. I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to support me in creating more content, please like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching.